is that behind you?
I'm coming to you from the beaches of St. Augustine, where I shot my newest music video.
Why do you do why do you do this to me?
You know what? I'm trying to give you memorable moments, Rudy. You know what I do for my profession besides music. But no, I found a backdrop on Amazon and I was like, this is cheap. I'll try it out. You should have seen me with my steamer a few days ago getting all of the creases out. There's still some, but don't look in this direction and we're all good.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you like it.
I don't know what to say about you anymore, man, except you are the best. You are hilarious. You always put a smile on my face, and my cheeks always hurt afterwards from laughing so much, man. How you been keeping?
Been keeping well, actually. I'm excited that we're finally getting to a place where the weather is starting to clear up. And I mean, I don't know about you, but this winter was so gray and depressing and just yuck. And even though it didn't get really cold, it was still just like, oh, please be over. I don't know how much longer I can take these Canadian winters, but I say that every year, and here I am sitting in my apartment.
See, I'm not going to complain because I'm in a house, so I have to shovel. So the
Mm.
fact that I only had to shovel, I think, twice, not complaining.
Yeah, that's great, actually. And I mean, shoveling is not something that I ever want to do. I'm gonna live in a place that I never have to do that for the rest of my life. I don't care if it's only a few square feet.
Oh my goodness. Look, man. So during this winter time, have you been busy with new music? Because that's what we're going to be talking about. What's been going on? Have you been writing? You've been, concentrating? Like, what's been going on here?
Yeah, so I'm working on my second album. I would say about a quarter of the way through the actual production of the songs. We're still writing, we're still putting stuff together, but see, these new songs are, I mean, I'm sure every artist says they're their best work yet, but it really is like I'm putting a lot more thought into my lyrics. Not that I didn't before, but I just think um I've learned to really get a little more introspective. And I think also I've been going to therapy regularly, and that tends
Oh,
to give you real insight that perhaps you never had before. So that's been helpful for me. I said to my, actually, I had therapy earlier today, and I said to my therapist, if the only thing I got out of this is my music gets better, I'm thankful. So,
and you know what? There's nothing wrong with going to therapy. I think everybody
no,
should. If you've never done it, at least do it once. I've done it myself too. It
yeah,
does help. Now I'm curious though,
yeah,
because and I say this with respect, and you're gonna understand why I'm saying this. Um, you've developed an attitude that I can tell is happening through your music. Does that
okay.
have to do with the therapy? And when I say attitude, I say that with respect because you becoming bolder and you are really speaking your mind.
Yeah, I think it also comes with age too, Like you start to not care as much what other people think. And
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I may have projected that I didn't care, I really internally did. And I think just like learn to cover it up well. But now it's getting to a point where I'm like, you don't like me, you don't like what I do, see ya. Like it doesn't affect me. What does RuPaul say? Something like, if unless they're paying your bills, pay them, bees no mind. So I mean, it's just to a place now where I'm like, we're all gonna die one day. Let's just have fun until we do, you know?
I agree with you. So is that reflecting in the music?
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. This new song, One More Day with You, is really about looking inward, looking at my flaws, and also um appreciating time with people that mean something to me. I think I was faced with a situation where I almost lost someone, and I mean, my last album was about losing my best friend to cancer. And I don't want to stay like, I'm not a grief artist. I just want everyone to know that. But um you are faced with scenarios and situations in life where you really have to uh go through some crappy things, and you're faced with potentially losing people, and it really puts things in focus. And when you do sort of look at the nuts and bolts of things, certain things really matter, and that's it, and everything else is just gravy.
What's it like to reflect on that, especially because I mean, we're still feeling the effects of COVID and what
Mm,
we had to face. A lot of it was man in the mirror. What was
yeah.
it like for you to have that happen to you and all these other things happening and now helping to develop you into the person you are now and then you presenting us with gifts through your music?
I think whenever you go through traumatic or awful events, I hate the word traumatic or trauma because it's very buzzy right now, but
Hmm.
um I think it's tough on its own, but then you factor in pandemic and all of that. I think ultimately there's a lot of feelings of isolation. Just, I mean, obviously in the physical sense, we were isolated, right? But then mentally, I felt isolated and sort of alone in my feelings and in my experiences. And music often provides me with that sort of outlet. I mean, it's a journal essentially. These songs, um, the gift is that once I've written them and released them, I can go back in 5 years and exactly remember where I was at that time, what my mindset was, if I was angry at someone in particular. Like I just kind of, it's fun for me because it's almost just like reading back a diary in the same way too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. What's it like for you, man, to go through this journey? Because I feel like every time we talk or I see you or whatever, there's always been this let me rephrase it. You've really been one of those artists or people that I see a journey from beginning to now, and it's an incredible one. And when you talk about diaries, I hope you're actually making one because I feel like in the next 10 years in the future you're going to want to go back, and I don't know if you are going to make a film about it. I don't know if you're going to write a book about it, but I feel like there's something there that you're going to do in the future for what you're dealing with now.
Well, let's just focus on getting those Spotify numbers up so we can get people to care about a book. But but I mean, obviously, I think anyone who's in a position where they're an artist or whatever, and even someone like yourself, your book would be so compelling. You've interviewed so many people and had so many experiences from your profession. I mean, yeah, I'd love to write a book, but if it sells 5 copies, I don't know that I would want to write it. But we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm open to it. So hopefully one day people will want it.
Tell me something, man. If I could give you that magic wand, how would you want the world to be today? Because you have a very interesting onlook about what's been going on and what we see in social media, what we see in the news, what we see out our windows. If you could change the world in a certain way, what would it be and why?
Well, I'd eliminate TikTok and uh, I mean ultimately I just think that what really is distressing and not to be a downer, but is just lately the way that people treat other people. I watched your Juno's video. I think that there's this level of like people have no shame anymore and there's no respect and there's no reverence for learning from people who have gone through things before us. And I know that it's cyclical and this happens a lot and like history repeats itself and everything, but ultimately I just wish that we could all kind of look at ourselves and say, everyone's a human being, everyone has a right to be respected, and everyone has a place here. Let's just get along. Like I said, we're gonna die one day. So, like, why are we getting wrapped up in the fighting, the arguing, the misery? It's just like it's such a waste of time. When you look back and you see that you've wasted so much time being resentful or angry or discriminating against someone, you're going to feel like an idiot. I mean, sometimes I wish, like, when people die, that they are forced to look at like their stupidity, like some of the,
Yes.
so they have to see, look at all the time you wasted. Like, that's your retribution.
Oh, I so agree with you. Look, I don't want to go morbid or whatever because we
No,
are
no.
talking about your music. But I'm curious though, if you could have for yourself the perfect funeral, what would it be?
I mean, everyone would need to be drunk. Um, I think I would force everyone to go through my entire discography from beginning to end, watch every single interview I've done with you and every single interview I've done ever, and just like relive all the stuff I've done. Cause I don't know if you know, like I did a reality show in the early 2000s.
Yes.
I did like a bunch of, I've done so much random stuff to try and, get myself out there. So I think I just want to be remembered for my perseverance in like my can't stop, won't stop ness, if that's a word.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Madonna in any of this.
Well, she's gonna be there. Why do I need to mention it? It'll be an AI Madonna because hopefully she'll be gone before me. Like fingers crossed. Not that I'm wishing death on Madonna. I want Madonna to live forever. Let's be clear. But yeah, it'll be like we'll have an AI Madonna just there as a hologram or something. She'll perform a track or two. She'll sing "Die Another Day."
So in the meantime, is the single out right now?
It came out today. We're filming on April.
And I don't know if you're what we just froze for
We
a
froze
quick
for a sec,
second.
but we're back.
So what were you saying? When is the single out?
It came out today, April 5th, when
Mhm.
we're recording. So it is everywhere, along with the music video, which features me on a beach, a real beach.
There we go. And just curious, what beach? Where did you go to record it?
So I went to St. Augustine to visit my parents for a week in February and filmed it all myself, getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And St. Augustine is northern Florida, so it was like 1, 2 degrees. And I was in this tank top and like in the water. The things we do for art, Rudy, I don't think I can explain to you, but it was a pleasure to do. And I actually shot it all myself, edited it all myself. The whole thing is all done by me. So
Amazing. Amazing. And any word yet on the name of the upcoming album and when we're going to get it?
I have ideas about names, but it changes, so I don't want to commit to anything. But I would say that probably early next year. I have a bunch of singles I want to put out sort of over time this year and really live in those singles. Nowadays, you want to sort of spread out your releases of an album because if you put
Yes.
everything out all at once, then it's basically you've got maybe a month more promotion and people may not listen to the whole thing. It's a whole thing. So I'm sort of spreading it out so that I can get the most bang for my buck.
Last question.
Yeah.
When the heck are we going to get a holiday album from you?
A holiday album. That's random. um
No, because we're in the season. We're coming up to the season where most of the time artists
yeah,
are recording
a
these
holiday. Yeah.
holidays stuff for the holiday season.
So Gavin Bradley, my producer, might kill me for telling you this, but he has said to me, I will never ever work on another Christmas or holiday song ever again. So I'm like, well, there go my chances of doing a holiday. I
Oh,
I adore working with Gavin. He's like such a good friend and just an amazing collaborator. So, I mean, never say never, but yeah, it hasn't come up, but maybe one day I'll get him to, maybe he'll soften in his old age.
I hope so. Because look, one thing I said it last year. I said people have to stop singing George Michael's Last Christmas because I always said 1,000 times, nobody can do it. It's his voice. You might be the closest person to be able to do it.
So that's a real compliment. Thank you. But I also agree with this. I think, in terms of cover songs in general, unless you can do it better than the original, I don't think cover songs should be made. And I know that's a bold statement, but really, like, don't try. I don't agree with it because, like, I would never want to cover someone and they're like, wow, that's not as good as the original. Like, that would be sucky. So, yeah.
I agree. I agree. During this holiday season, summer season, are you planning on any shows, festivals, anything like that we can look forward to?
There's some Pride appearances coming up that I'm just confirming now. So
Okay.
keep it locked on my Instagram, Cory J. Stewart, and I'll announce stuff as it comes in. But yeah, I'm gonna be performing this summer, that's for sure.
Wait a minute. I never knew there was a J there. What the heck is the J for?
John, my dad's name, and now my middle name.
Ah,
Yeah.
bravo. Man, always great talking to you. Congratulations on the new single. Looking forward to when the album is finally going to be released.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to do what I can to try to hit Pride to see you perform because I've never seen you
You
perform at
haven't.
Pride.
Okay, well, I'll make sure that I let you know. I would love that. I think you'll be in for a treat.
Oh, look, I've seen the video, so I know you always kill it. So either way, my friend, thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on the music. Looking forward to seeing you this summer.
Thank you so much, Rudy.